Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk, where you can hear great books every day and discover global bestsellers. Today we're exploring the book, I Shoe, Dog, the memoir of Nike founder Phil Knight. In April 2016, Nike founder Phil Knight published his memoir, I Shoe, Dog, in the US, which immediately hit the New York Times bestseller list. Bill Gates praised it as the book that one of my top 5 favorite books of 2016. In China, it's been endorsed by business leaders like Michael Dell, Ka-Fu Lee, and Ruping Noon. Why is the book titled I Shoe Dog? What does that mean? Knight explains in the book. A shoe dog is someone obsessed with shoes and dedicates their life to them. The book chronicles Nike's 80-year history in chronological order. From Knight's initial off-tail spark in 1962 to Nike's IPO in 1980, we'll explore both the company's journey and key business lessons. First, let's discuss Nike's origin story, essentially a saga of shoe dogs fighting for success. Phil Knight himself epitomizes a shoe dog. Let's revisit 1962 America, the peak of hippie culture, with rebellious youth embracing drugs, rock music, and anti-establishment values. Yet in Oregon, there was a young man who defied this trend. Thin, shy, pale, never tried drugs or cigarettes, and never dated. To outsiders, he was the perfect student, Oregon University undergrad, Stanford MBA graduate. You guessed it, this is our protagonist, Phil Knight. Young Knight appeared bookish, but harbored intense ambition beneath the surface. Unlike the hippies' outward rebellion, he'd lay awake asking, "What's life's purpose, money? A house?" None of that. He craved uniqueness to leave his mark on the world. While this ambition might sound like naive, youthful energy, it ultimately birthed the Nike empire. The story of young, ambitious Knight's entrepreneurial journey begins during his time at Stanford. He took a seminar on entrepreneurship and wrote a research paper about running shoes due to his passion for jogging. Knight observed that Japanese products had surpassed German brands in the camera market. In the running shoe sector dominated by German brand Adidas, Knight predicted Japanese products would eventually take over. Knight received an A for his paper. Most students would have stopped there. But for Knight, this was just the start. Not content with grades, he flew to Japan seeking shoe distributorship. Knight targeted Onitsuka Tiger Shoes. At their headquarters, he proposed becoming their U.S. distributor. Coincidentally, Onitsuka wanted U.S. market expansion, a perfect match. Overjoyed, Knight immediately had his father send $50 to order 12 pairs. After 2 years' wait, around Christmas 1964, Knight received 12 cream white Onitsuka Tiger shoes. Thus began Knight's journey as Japanese shoe distributor, starting his arduous entrepreneurial path. As a true shoe dog, Knight naturally attracted similar enthusiasts around him. Most notable were legendary coach Bill Bowerman and sales genius Jeff Johnson. Bowerman, Knight's Oregon University track coach, was both admired and exasperating. Another shoe dog. Bowerman would sneak into locker rooms, dismantle athletes' shoes, to study construction, then reassemble them. These unauthorized modifications sometimes caused foot injuries and bleeding. But as coach athletes tolerated his eccentricities, Among Bowerman's 4 or 5 test subjects on the team, Knight became his favorite guinea pig. He knew Knight's foot measurements and stride patterns intimately. From freshman to junior year, Knight lost count of races lost wearing Bowerman's experimental shoes. Even during Knight's senior year, Bowerman kept handcrafting running shoes for him. Bowerman's obsessive love for shoes immediately made Knight think of him. After receiving the Onitsuka Tiger shoes, Knight instantly sent 2 pairs to Bowerman. Bowerman was thrilled and immediately demanded 50% partnership in the venture. Knight happily agreed. Thus, Blue Ribbon Sport, Nike's predecessor, was born. Tonight, Bowerman was a genius shoe designer, constantly generating new concepts. This proved invaluable for Blue Ribbon's early sales growth. The Cortez shoe exemplifies this perfectly. In 1966, Bowerman noticed Onitsuka's outsoles melted like butter, while midsoles remained firm. He wrote to Onitsuka, suggesting outsole improvements for long-distance running shoes. Initially met with cold indifference, Bowerman only intensified his efforts. He bombarded them with increasingly passionate letters emphasizing these changes. Eventually, Onitsuka produced the Cortez, an instant consumer favorite. Blue Ribbon sales jumped from $44,000 in 1966 to $84,000 in 1967 post-Cortez launch. Bowerman was the indispensable general, Knight's foundational pillar for the company. Beyond products, sales became crucial for Blue Ribbon's success. Fortunately, Knight met another shoe dog, Jeff Johnson. Johnson, a Stanford running buddy, shared Bowerman's passion for running and Onitsuka shoes. He believed running was spiritual, divinely called to help runners reach heaven. While seemingly irrational, this madness defined true innovators. Johnson possessed obsessive sales drive, approaching shoe selling with religious zeal. He wrote Knight near-daily letters detailing every sales nuance. Weekly sales numbers of Onitsuka Tigers, which athletes wore them in competitions, and their final rankings. He went even further than Knight ever imagined. Planning strategies, placing ads, building retail stores, Johnson constantly demanded authorization to open a shop. For such mad geniuses don't impose restrictions or guidelines. Instead, give them greater freedom and challenges. Knight set an almost impossible target. Sell 3,250 pairs in first half of 1966 to get store approval. Johnson succeeded. How? He worked 7 days weekly mastering sales techniques. He built detailed customer profiles during interactions, created index cards tracking shoe sizes and preferences, maintaining contact through birthdays and holidays. He treated customers as friends. One complained about insufficient cushioning in Onitsuka flats for Boston Marathon. Johnson hired local cobbler to attach bathroom slipper soles to Onitsuka shoes. The modification worked. The runner achieved personal best. Bowerman and Johnson became Knight's indispensable right-hand men. These 3 shoe dogs, crazy, obsessive, arrogant, irrational. Blue Ribbon maintained annual sales doubling through their efforts. From $44,000 in 1966 to $600,000 by 1970. But storms gather. Blue Ribbon and Onitsuka's partnership fractured in 1971. Onitsuka coveted U.S. market growth, terminating Blue Ribbon's exclusivity. Knight had sensed Onitsuka's shifting intentions. In 1971, Knight invited Onitsuka executive Kitami to U.S. tour. Their private meeting in Knight's office turned contentious. Knight sensed trouble. Sneaking a look at Kitami's documents, he found listings for 18 U.S. shoe distributors with scheduled meetings. This spelled disaster. New competitors would drown Blue Ribbon's exclusive business. Faced with corporate betrayal, Knight had to forge new paths. Where would salvation come from? As Nietzsche said, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. A new brand was about to rise. Knight's dual strategy. Sue Onitsuka, while creating their own brand with new manufacturers. They designed the dynamic swoosh, Nike's iconic logo we know today. It resembled the trail left by an athlete slicing through air. They named the brand Nike after the Greek goddess of victory. In 1972, Nike Corporation was officially established. Within 8 years, Nike dominated the U.S. market. 2 milestones. 1974's Waffle Trainer challenged Adidas, and 1977's Air Cushion Tech defeated Reebok in the 90S. The Waffle Trainer originated from a 1971 meeting complaint. Knight remarked, "Training shoe outsoles haven't changed in 50 years. Same waves and grooves, no innovation." Bowerman silently nodded in agreement during the meeting. Bowerman faced dual pressures. The 1972 Munich Olympics as Team USA coach and product innovation demands. He needed to create more comfortable, athletic shoes. During a weekend breakfast, Bowerman's eureka moment came from a waffle iron's grid pattern. He hauled the waffle maker to his workshop to retarget the sole pattern. After filling it with polyurethane, the machine broke during heating. No sole produced. Undeterred, he bought another machine and tried plaster. Still failed. Eventually abandoning waffle irons, he crafted a stainless steel plate with grid patterns mimicking waffle texture. Taking the device to a rubber company, they finally created waffle pattern soles. In 1972, waffle shoes debuted with professional athletes. Athletes love the enhanced grit, rapidly spreading, word-of-mouth acclaim. After further refinements, Bowerman launched the iconic Waffle Trainer in 1974. Superior traction, imitative design, and alphoning made it America's instant bestseller. By 1976, the waffle transcended sports gear to become cultural icon. People wore them for workouts, classes, even office jobs. Waffle shoes became daily life companions. Pre-waffle era saw Knight overwhelmed by loans and distribution pressures. Post-launch demand overwhelmed production capacity. Knight recalled. Retailers begged on their knees. "We'll buy every waffle shoe you make." Knight often quoted MacArthur. "Perfectly ferocious, you break." Meaning, rule breakers earn lasting respect. The waffle was that rule-breaking shoe. Its success laid foundation for Nike's 1980 IPO. Following 1974's waffle, 1977's air cushion marked another milestone. Air cushion inventor Frank Rudy was an eccentric aerospace engineer. How strange! He meticulously logged sexual activities and bowel movements, seen as complete madman. But he developed pressurized air cushion technology, creating weightless sensation. Adidas rejected this radical idea, literally kicking them out. So they approached Knight. Knight marveled. Never seen such innovative, revolutionary shoes. Knight ran 10 kilometers in the air-cushioned shoes. Though unstable, he felt weightlessness. Knight immediately partnered with Rudy to create ground-ring air-cushioned shoes. Nike subsequently released shoes with cushion units enhancing shock absorption and flexibility. Initially, the air cushions were fully enclosed. An accidental experiment created visible air cushions by adding sole windows. This serendipitous discovery created market-beloved visible cushion technology. The 1987 Air Max launch caused instant market sensation. Air cushion became Nike's ultimate competitive weapon. During 1990s Reebok rivalry, Air technology secured Nike's market dominance. This concludes Nike's origin story. Next, we analyze 4 success factors behind Nike. Today, Nike isn't an upstart, but industry leader. 2016 revenue hit $32 for B with $3.6. 7B profit triple Adidas earnings. While passion sparked the startup, sustaining it required more than enthusiasm. 4 success pillars: leadership, innovation, branding, corporate culture. First pillar, Knight's MINAC leadership, combining contradictory traits. As 1962 Stanford MBA graduate, Knight had elite career options. He worked as PwC accountant and Portland State professor before Oxford. In 1969, after stabilizing company operations, he resigned from university to fully commit to his shoe business. This defies the conventional narrative of desperate entrepreneurship. Secondly, Knight was more street smart than typical elite. He admired military leaders like Churchill and Napoleon. I dislike violence, but am fascinated by crisis leadership. In 1971, detecting Onitsuka's duplicity, Knight decisively accessed confidential documents during negotiations. While ethically questionable, Knight believed extreme situations demanded extreme measures. Knight also possessed exceptional listening skills. During naming debates, he initially pushed the measured 6, but ultimately accepted Nike through team consensus. He demonstrated ruthless decisiveness, removing 2 successors due to performance issues. Peter Thiel states, in 0 to 1, founders' eccentricities require tolerance. Extraordinary leaders drive breakthroughs. Clearly, Knight embodied this extraordinary leadership. Second success factor, product innovation. As the innovator's dilemma, I suggest, don't compete better, compete different. Against Adidas and Reebok, innovation became Nike's breakthrough strategy. Waffle trainer and air cushion exemplify this approach. Nike's innovation pipeline never stopped flowing. 2005's Nike Free Series mimicked barefoot running sensations. 2008's Lunar Series revolutionized cushioning for enhanced energy return. 2012's Flyknit used high-tensile fibers for breathable precision. Innovation propelled Nike to leadership and sustains its dominance. Third success pillar, brand marketing. The landmark Air Jordan partnership with Michael Jordan became marketing gold. Air Jordan translates to Air God in Chinese. Air Jordan has always operated as an independent sub-brand under the parent company. In 2016 U.S. sneaker market, Air Jordan held 10% share, Nike 40%, while Adidas only 6%. As a standalone brand beyond Nike, Air Jordan's success is undeniable. This success traces back to another shoe dog, marketing genius, Sonny Vaccaro. Nike's connection with Jordan began at 1984 NBA draft. Both Nike and Adidas competed to sign rookie basketball endorsement. Nike initially targeted top pick Hakeem Olajuwon and two others, but Vaccaro objected. Remembering Jordan's 1982 championship-winning shot, Vaccaro instantly knew he was the one. He demanded full budget allocation to Jordan against corporate recommendations. Adidas also approached Jordan, whose personal preference leaned toward their shoes. Vaccaro clinched the deal by promising signature shoes, unprecedented for rookies. Remarkably, Jordan was relatively unknown in 1984, even to his first shoe designer. Vaccaro's all-in gamble exemplified Nike's signature shoe dog madness. History proved Vaccaro right. The first Air Jordan released in 1985 generated $200 million revenue within first year. This surpassed Nike's other revenue streams combined. Jordan subsequently shattered NBA records, cementing his godlike status. His legendary career propelled both Air Jordan and Nike to new heights. Vaccaro pioneered youth engagement through innovative marketing tactics. He created the legendary ABCD camp system. Gathering top high school prospects with elite coaches, he built Nike's talent pipeline. Nike fully equipped the camp with shoes and apparel, exposing prospects to the brand before college. Vaccaro's camp operated with full corporate backing, achieving remarkable success. Trainees developed fierce brand loyalty. Some vowed to only attend Nike-sponsored colleges, making the camp Nike's marketing stronghold. This strategy's core beat competitors by reaching young athletes early. Final success factor: corporate culture, sustained greatness roots in cultural foundations. I built to last identifies enduring companies with cult-like cultures and purpose beyond profits, both evident in Nike. Nike embodies these characteristics perfectly. Peter Thiel describes PayPal Mafia's cult-like culture. Members neglected families but gained profound belonging and insights. Such organizations appear cult-like to outsiders. The PayPal Mafia exemplified this quasi-religious dynamic. Nike's equivalent is their Rogue Council culture. Biannual executive meetings called Rogue Sessions use streetwise terminology over corporate titles. Nike described attendees, Oregon natives determined to prove ourselves to the world. Not country bumpkins, not suit-wearing bureaucrats, but battle-ready brothers. Rogue Sessions feature 3 principles: brutal honesty, empowered trust, strategic focus. First principle: unfiltered truth-telling. Thin skin need not attend. Number Strasser, nicknamed Thunderclap, exemplified this ethos. He once criticized, "We've lost our edge. Too many bean counters, not enough wild innovators." During heated arguments, Thunderclap hurled his folder at the wall, roaring, "To hell with all of you!" Papers flew everywhere. Everyone shouted themselves hoarse across the conference table. No formalities, only brutal honesty and unfiltered truths. Second Rogue Council principle: Empowered trust. Nike lived by General Patton's creed. Don't tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and let them surprise you with results. This defined Nike's management style: minimal interference for stellar performance. A shrug and not bad. Mistakes earn 2-minute rants. No micromanagement. Total trust empowered Nike's constant innovation. Third principle: strategic execution. Rogue sessions tackled everything. E-pose to logo designs. Chaotic debates concealed razor-sharp focus. Post-meeting documentation ensured actionable outcomes. The session's true value. These meetings epitomize Nike's anti-bureaucratic vitality. Beyond cult culture, Nike obsesses over athletic spirit transcending profit. Knight's track background and Bowerman's Olympic coaching made sports their religion. Nike names buildings after athletes. U.S. Jordan Building. China's Li Na. Siang Centers. Like Singh's career best embodies Nike's athletic ethos. April the 7th, 2015, 5 p.m. Liu Kang announced retirement. His farewell statement exclusively mentioned Nike. Nike signed Liu Kang in 2002. Post-2004 Athens Olympics Gold. 14 brands sought his endorsement. During the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Liu Kang withdrew, leaving only 4 endorsement brands. Nike staunchly supported Liu Kang with the iconic slogan, "Love sport even when it breaks your heart." By the 2012 London Olympics, only Nike and Coca-Cola remained when Liu withdrew again. Nike's campaign declared, "Greatness needs no justification. Who dares risk dignity? Who dares restart at the peak?" This campaign moved many to tears. Who hasn't experienced failure? Who lacks companions at their peak? Nike stood like a loyal brother through triumphs and trials. Brands partner with peak performers for profit. Staying through valleys requires belief. Nike's cult-like culture and athletic devotion forged its corporate ethos. To summarize iShoeDog. 1. It chronicles a terminal history and lessons. The narrative spans 18 years, divided into 2 phases. From Nike's 1962 idea to Nike's 1980 IPO, with 1972 as pivotal year between Blue Ribbon distribution and Nike's creation. The subsequent 8 years saw Nike building Nike's brand. Shoe Dogs describes those obsessively passionate about footwear design, exemplified by waffle inventor Bowerman and sales. Savant Johnson. Nike United initial Shoe Dogs to establish business foundations. Continuous innovation birthed waffle trainer and air cushion technologies. These breakthroughs helped Nike surpass Adidas 1980s and Reebok 1990s. Key Chappelle lessons: leadership, innovation, branding, culture. We conclude with the book's most iconic quote: "The cowards never started. The weak died along the way. Only we remain, never stopping." Alright, that wraps up today's discussion on iShoeDog. Key takeaways are in the episode notes. See you tomorrow.